Grow 'em Big with Steve Bartylla. Brought to you by Huntworth and these other fine sponsors.
One of the most effective ways to draw deer to our properties is to offer them something that they want or need that they can't get in the area. So, what is it that whitetails want and need? Well, quite honestly, they need food. They desperately want that illusion of safety. They need enough comfort to be able to survive. But now, by comfort, I'm not talking a warm sweater on a cool day or air conditioning on a hot day. I'm talking about being able to withstand, being comfortable enough to be able to survive the elements. That means on a brutally cold day, making it so they're just barely warm enough to survive or better. On an extremely hot day, finding that shade so they're not baking like a potato out in the sun. Social stress. Social stress is comfort when there's way too darn many deer and they are literally pounding the snot out of each other, competing like you wouldn't believe over those limited resources because there's too many deer. Well, that social pressure, those fights, all that energy that they're wasting trying to get at those foods and get those limited resources, all that stuff falls into the comfort factor. So we have food, we have water, we have comfort, we have the illusion of safety and breeding opportunities. Those are the things that whitetails want and or need the most. So when you're looking at your property, simply ask yourself, in this area, what is it of those things that deer want and need that tends to be lacking? If there isn't good cover in your area, forget about food, offer cover. If all the woods in your county happens to be a park effect woods because they had been cattled and pastured for years and years and years, and all that understory, and you can sit here, it's a beautiful oak woods and hickory, you can look forever, and that offers virtually nothing for browse. Great mass with all those oaks, but the browse is woody browse and leafy browse is very, very low. In that case, you go ahead and do some logging, offer that thick, lush regrowth, you're gonna draw deer like crazy. If you're in an area with an unbelievable amount of cover but limited food, food is gonna draw deer like crazy. If you're in an area where, man, square mile that I had, a square mile created by roads that I owned a 40 in the middle of. Opening day of Wisconsin's firearm season, there would be 36 hunters on that square mile of land. In a scenario like that, safety's what they're after. So you go ahead and you take that 40 and you make most of it a sanctuary, and guess what happens during firearm season? The deer, they go like this. And then after, you go for a walk through there and you're kicking out 20 to 40 deer every single year off of a couple little couple 10-acre sanctuaries on a 40. The more we can identify what is missing in this area, what is it that deer want? Is it food? Is it water? Is it safety? Is it comfort? Is it breeding opportunities? If it's breeding opportunities, what you do is you stack the does in by putting a ton of food, a ton of cover, great bedding around the food, and you're gonna have and now you have breeding opportunities. When you identify what it is of the things the whitetails want the most, and offer them that at a superior level that they can get anywhere else in that area, your property literally becomes a magnet and attracts deer.
Final thoughts, brought to you by Huntworth.
Everyone seems to want that magic ticket for what is that one thing that I can do to make my property, my hunting property, just literally sing like an opera star. Well, that one thing is going to vary from property to property to property because every single property, every single area is different. Identify what it is that the whitetails want and need the most that is most lacking in your area. Identify that, address that want and need, and guess what? Your deer numbers are going to naturally go up on that property.